So next we're going to talk about measuring with a protractor. There is a postulate in your book. It's called the protractor postulate. I think using it as a postulate is a little bit superfluous. And so we're just going to talk through how to use a protractor. Let's say you are given an angle, and you were told to measure the angle. What you would do is take your handy-dandy protractor and oh my goodness, that's a terrible protractor. You would set your handy-dandy protractor such that the crosshairs of your protractor are right on the vertex of the angle. Once you do that, you make sure that one side is at 0 degrees, and then all you do is read the tick marks over until you reach your angle measure. Now, one thing to think about is that because this angle is obtuse, and we'll get to what that means in a minute, because this angle is obtuse, we know that it's going to be greater than 90 degrees. On most protractors, there are two sets of numbers. One of them goes from 0 to 180 this way, and another one goes from 0 to 180 that way. So kind of use a little bit of common sense when you're reading this. So if we were to measure this angle, and this side of the angle were to land on, let's say 147 degrees, it may also land at 33 degrees. So the big question is this interior angle here 147 or 33 degrees? Well, we know that it's obtuse, so we know it's got to be greater than 90 degrees, and so we know that it is the 147 mark. Next up, classifying angles. There are 4 types of angles. Just 4. There are acute angles. There are right angles. There are obtuse angles, and there are straight angles. Now, acute angles are greater than 0 degrees. But also they are less than 90 degrees. And I'm going to call this angle A. Right angles are equal to 90 degrees. Obtuse angles are greater than 90 degrees. And straight angles are 180 degrees. Straight angles are also known as lines, line segments, or rays. There is a section on copying angles. We're going to do a little workshop on this on Wednesday, but to get a preview, the example is on page 40 in your text, in case you wanted to peek ahead. The last thing we're going to deal with is the angle addition postulate. The angle addition postulate deals with three angles. And I say three angles because there really are three angles here. The angle addition postulate says that angle ABC plus angle CBD equals angle ABD. Now, at the outset, this looks really straightforward, and I will tell you that it is really straightforward because it really is that straightforward. There are no tricks to this. This angle plus this angle equals the big angle, just like the line segment addition postulate. Let's do an example with this really quick. So let's say that we have a set of angles like this. K, L, M, and N. And we will say, for the sake of argument, that LKM has a measure of 2x plus 10 degrees. We'll say that MKN has a measure of 4x minus 3 degrees. And we'll also say that LKN, or angle LKN, has a total measure of 145 degrees. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to use our angle addition postulate, and so we're just going to write that out to start with. So we know that angle LKM plus angle MKN equals angle LKN. We also know that angle LKM is equal to 2x plus 10 degrees. We know that angle MKN is equal to 4x minus 3 degrees, and we know that angle LKN, or the whole big thing, is equal to 145 degrees. At this point, this is pretty straightforward algebra. We're just going to combine like terms, 2x and 4x. We're going to get 6x. 10 minus 3 is going to give us 7. That all still equals 145 degrees. We'll subtract our 7. We'll get 6x degrees equals 138. If we divide by 6, we get x equal to 23 degrees. Now, if we're looking to find the measure of angle LKN MKM and the measure, give myself a little more room here, and the measure of angle MKN, we need to plug our value for x into both of these expressions. And so we're just going to do that really quick. We've got 2 times 23 plus 10. We've got 4. Oh goodness. 4 times 23 minus 3. 2 times 23 is 46 plus 10, 56 degrees. 4 times 23, well, that's just 2 shy of 4 times 25, or 100 minus 8 is going to be 92, minus 3, we're going to get 89 degrees. There we go. Now, the last thing that is in your book for this section is bisecting angles. Bisecting angles really is an art form with a protractor. There are a total of 3 steps to doing it. These steps are in your text on page 42. And like I said, we're going to do a little workshop on doing constructions. Whenever you do stuff like this, it's called constructions. And so that's what we're going to spend a good chunk of our time doing on Wednesday before you get the review for your test. And so, all in all today, we talked about naming angles, we talked about measuring and classifying angles, we talked about the angle addition postulate, and we found angle measures using the angle addition postulate. The assignment for this section is page 43, 3 through 11 odd, 21 through 27 odd. Good luck!